Bleeding Purple Podcast.
Deep block, steps up in the pocket. Hill fires the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay alive. Oh my God! 30, no tag. Are you kidding me? The finish in the Minneapolis. No way! Stephon Diggs in the middle of the Vikings. On the New Orleans Saints. It's a 61-yard Minneapolis miracle. I can't believe what I just saw. What an unbelievable play.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in to Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Haig. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Peck. Hello, good sir. How are you?
What's up? Pretty good.
Just real quick, what's the temperature there? San Diego, Southern California.
65.
65. Interesting. A beautiful, sunny 80 degrees in Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Nice and humid.
Actually, it is kind of humid. I saw a tweet today of a guy that was like, is it too early to be like, ugh, the humidity? A little early, though. This is like the first warm day. I don't know. It's great.
That's okay. You can have it.
Southern California. Whatever, dude. It's exciting for us, okay? So the draft is done. We'll talk about that, break that down a little bit later. But some news that came out today, Monday, Trae Waynes has had, as expected, his fifth-year option picked up. According to the Star Tribune, he's going to be making north of $9 million.
I believe it's $9,069,000.
$9,069,000. That's a lot more money than he was making last year.
Yeah. I think he made 2 or 3 million.
Yeah. I wasn't real sure why there was a little kickback from people about will they, won't they? No idea it was going to be like a $9 million situation. I'm not saying I think they shouldn't have done it. I still think they made the right move and it was whatever, but man, $9 million.
Well, just because they exercise it doesn't mean he's coming back next year either, because they have until the new league year to make that decision. So, and it won't cost them anything to let him go.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's no guarantee that he's coming back in 2019. They have that option to exercise it, like they did with Sharif Floyd and Matt Khalil. So
okay, but they have to decide before the fourth year.
They had to decide before May 3rd, I believe, to exercise it or not.
Oh, okay.
And it's smart to just do that anyways, just to
Well, there's no real reason not to unless they're like not on the team already, right?
Yeah, because he could also have like a really good season next year and then be worth a lot more. So.
All right. You're into it? Do you think his performance has been okay? I thought he was pretty good last year.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Some of his flaws still crept up. It'll be good to see him get another off season in with Zimmer and Jerry Gray, the defensive backs coach. But I wouldn't be surprised, really, if they let him go next year. Let him test the market, see what he can get, because they just drafted a corner. We'll talk about that
I was going to
later.
Say, they got some options now.
In the first round, got Mackenzie Alexander, who's capable of playing on the outside too. And I don't know. We'll see. It was expected, so I'm not surprised by it at all.
Yeah. Do you think that Trae Waynes gets a little bit of that? Our perception of him is maybe skewed a little bit because he's playing opposite of such a good cornerback in Xavier Rhodes. Do you think that some of his flaws are more magnified because quarterbacks are going at him more often than Xavier Rhodes? Do you think there's anything to that? Do you think he would look better on a different team with a less talented corner next to him, I guess is the real question.
He's solid. I think he would just be solid anywhere else. I don't think I can understand that viewpoint, how like he's not Xavier Rhodes and people just automatically assume you compare the two, but
yeah,
there's really no comparison.
Yeah,
they really played. They play very differently. Like Waynes is more about speed, and I feel like Xavier Rhodes is more about like physicality.
And yeah. Yeah, it just feels like that spot opposite Xavier feels like that could be a revolving door of guys who are just bad all the time.
It's always gonna be scrutinized.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like maybe
more targeted.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe Waynes is, I don't know, gets kind of a bad rap, a worse rap than he should get because of that. I don't know. Something to think about.
It's possible.
Other news: the oldest football player that isn't kicker is coming back.
Yeah.
Terrence Newman. He was drafted number 5 overall. I did not realize that until recently.
Yeah.
In 2003.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the Cowboys.
That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer was there.
Mm-hmm.
Drafted him.
So he'll be back, teaching, mentoring, doing all of the things that 40-year-old corners do. What do you think he will do?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll make the regular season roster just because of so many corners they have back there now. I think they will probably keep him on the roster for the season just because he is reliable and the fact that he may not be as quick as he once was, but he's very smart since he's been in the league for so long. So he knows habits of like quarterbacks and stuff like that. So he's a good player to have around for injury wise because that happens in football.
It sure does.
So I mean, there's a chance he might not make the regular season roster, but I think he probably will. And he's Zimmer's dude, so
yeah,
probably gonna keep him around.
And we've heard Zimmer say like you can never have enough corners. He says that a lot. Has said it a ton. So I guess he's gonna be there. Here's my hot take prediction though. Newman doesn't make the team, but is signed as a coach.
Oh, maybe.
Bam. Boom. Come on in. Right on staff. Right on board. That's what I'm saying. I would like to see that. I think that'd be cool. I don't know.
I think that would happen eventually anyways. He's probably going to be a coach.
But
probably with the Vikings.
With all of these young corners, I would assume that he will be there, and I would assume that he would play. Because you got to assume Zimmer's going to start him or play him above the guys he doesn't know and doesn't trust, the young guys at the D-backs. So at least at the beginning of the season, you would expect
and Zimmer's not known to love playing rookies. So
good call. Great point. He's not. Other news, Cayleb Jones has been having a rough couple weeks, I guess, is maybe the way to put that. But Cayleb Jones, practice squad player, was suspended for 4 games. What do they call it? For the substance abuse policy violation. Performance enhancing. Is that what it was? Oh, okay.
Performance enhancing drugs. It wasn't substance abuse.
Good.
There's a difference.
Okay, there's it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you clarified.
Same as Kentrell Brothers. So it was supplementing steroids or something. But yeah, he's suspended for 4 games. He's never played in an NFL game before. He's just been on the practice squad for the Vikings for the past year and a couple weeks because he was signed at the end of the 2016 season. But yeah, his chances might have just gone out the door of making the Vikings.
And his poor brother was trying to jump out of a hotel window not too long ago, so he's got all kinds of issues to deal with.
But yeah, because the Vikings have a bunch of receivers this year that aren't going to be suspended for the first 4 games that will be fighting for the same amount of playing time that Cayleb Jones will. So I'd probably be surprised if he was still on the roster for training camp.
Yeah.
Depending on how their rookie mini camp and all that stuff goes, cause they've got that coming up. There's a couple of receivers that are there, and they might want to keep those guys around instead of saving a spot for Cayleb Jones, who's probably not going to make the roster anyways.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate. Stuff happens. Don't know if he hasn't released anything about it. Vikings haven't released anything about it.
Of course not, because they don't care about their smaller players.
Yeah, it's just weird that the official team site doesn't report on suspensions because it's news to the team and people go to that site to read about the team, and that's kind of important stuff, even if they are less relevant players.
It is.
Kind of doing.
And I'm glad you brought that up. because the way that website is set up, and it's not just the Vikings, it's like every NFL team. They have like their own staff of journalists and people who are putting out content and making, getting the Vikings news out there. They all do a great job, but there are always, important things that fans want to know, such as contract numbers, like money stuff that always gets left out, or, things like this where that's news. Can't imagine they're going to have any of their staff reporters writing 1,000 words on it.
I've been meaning to look to see if other team sites don't report on this stuff, but I haven't gotten to that yet, so it's possible that it could just be like that way for every NFL team site.
Yeah, and I do not know if it's like that for anyone else either, so...
I don't know.
Not
but
like blaming them. I understand why they're doing it from like a PR standpoint. Like I get it, but
you're also not going to see an opinion article on one of those sites.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Zimmer should give up play calling. That's never going to be on there.
Could you imagine if Lindsey Young did like
she would never do that.
Zimmer needs to give it up.
She'd be too afraid to go in that locker room if she did that.
Oh, that would be uncomfortable for all involved. So yeah, poor Cayleb Jones. I hope he has a better. I hope he gets it together. I hope he figures it out. I guess. The draft. Yeah. Let's talk about the draft.
Yeah, it happened.
It did. Yeah.
Wow.
It happened.
Very, very exciting first round.
Very exciting. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on. Well, first, I guess let's take a big full league-wide view of it. Baker Mayfield went first.
Yeah.
What did you think of that pick? Would you agree with that? Who would you have gone with the first?
Not the safest pick, but it's still a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking the risk, hoping for that big reward. Fits their offense more than maybe another quarterback because I think Todd Haley's their offensive coordinator. So he kind of do the same sort of stuff that Roethlisberger can do, something like that. I wasn't too surprised because it started to come out a couple days before.
Yeah.
But some people had, Pro Football Focus had him as the number one rated quarterback too. So it wasn't oh my God, I can't believe they did that. If it was like Lamar Jackson number one, yeah, that would have been a big surprise.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have. But.
And then Saquon Barkley went second.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that was going to happen.
I think
they probably should have got a quarter.
I agree that exactly. That was what I was just.
But they haven't had a good running back in New York for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not since Brandon Jacobs. I can't think of anyone else who's been good since he left.
Ron Dane.
That was way before. Kiki Barber.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And if I was in that position, I would have a Saquon Barkley is so good. He's so good.
Yeah. You also got to look at it's Pat Shermer's offense. He's not gonna make Eli, drop back 9 steps, and he's gonna make it easier for him and make Eli do what he's able to do and not.
Yeah, and that's a great way to look at it. If you look at it from Shermer's perspective, you have Eli who can do everything you need to do, and if you draft a rookie there, people are going to want the rookie to play if the season doesn't go well, and that could, all of a sudden it unravels and you got 2 years and then you're fired, or you can let Eli do his thing, give him an incredible weapon because Saquon Barkley is amazing.
And they did draft a quarterback later in the draft. They got Kyle Lauletta, the guy you liked.
I like that guy.
So they did get a quarterback as a potential that he could evolve into something. But and they also have Odell Beckham coming back next year. So
I think they're going to be good because they were not that bad last year. They just had a ton of injuries and the wheels fell off. And it looked really ugly and got really gross. And they had to fire I understand why they got rid of the head coach, but that was not going to be that bad of a team had everybody stayed healthy. And they would have been okay.
Yeah, I think they'll be good. They're going to have a last place schedule, so won't be as hard. So I think they'll be good. That division's always weird. A different team wins every year for the past 10 years.
So a ton of quarterbacks get taken. Fast forward a little bit, a ton of offensive linemen get taken. I mean, maybe not a ton, but a number of the ones that we were kind of looking at, or that we had assumed that the Vikings were, like the Billy Prices of the world and the McGlinchey. That was kind of a pipe dream, but McGlincheys and those all went away. Vikings show up. They pick Mike Hughes, cornerback.
I was a little surprised. I was surprised that they went corner in the first round when they have a need at like an interior guard. Yeah, but they don't at the same time. People are like, they need a starter, but they have guys that have started before on their roster already. Yeah, Nick Easton's coming back. They can move Remmers to guard. They can put Rashad Hill on the outside. But yeah, I was surprised, definitely, like a cornerback, especially when somebody like Will Hernandez, I know he doesn't fit like the Viking scheme or whatever and all that stuff. Yeah. Or who else was in there? James Daniels from Iowa, he was available. Connor Williams from Texas, he was available. All these guys that they could have got in the first round, or they could have traded back into the early part of the second round. Yeah, that was... Because the Ravens apparently wanted back in the first round. But they didn't, and then they kind of got screwed in the second round because all those guys got taken. Yes. And they had to... I felt like they maybe reached a little bit on their offensive lineman because he's not an automatic starter. And they couldn't afford to let any more get off the board because the linemen they were going to be picking from after that were going to be inconsequential. I mean, he's a good prospect. The guy they got, Brian O'Neill, he's a big dude. He's like 6'7", 300 pounds, 300 plus pounds, and I think he's only allowed like one sack in the last 2 or 3 years, so that's good. But yeah, he's not. I don't think he's ready to be a starter immediately, like some of those guys might have been able to, like a Pat Elflein was last year. Been reading a lot about him needing to get a lot stronger before he can be a consistent contributor. Yeah, that's never good with offensive line. That's not good with the offensive lineman. Yeah, because he was a tight end. And he converted to an offensive line. Yeah, that was what I was reading, was that he moves really, really well, which I guess would make sense if you're going to be, it's good if you were like running screens. Yeah. But so like I understand the pick, but yeah, I think that also plays into some of the frustration from fans is that hindsight, you can look back and see what cornerbacks were available when they were taking the offensive linemen, and then looking at the offensive linemen that were available when they were taking a cornerback. And I think that swap, you could have gotten a pretty good corner in the second round and a much better offensive lineman. There were a bunch of good corners left, or even safeties left when they were picking in the second round. Yeah, so that bummed me out. I understand why people were frustrated, but are you upset by this? Do you think they have made a horrendous mistake by not taking an offensive lineman with this? No, they have a lot. They have a lot of stuff in their starting lineup all set already. They were pretty much drafting for depth and drafting for the future. For when if Remmers leaves in a year or two, then they have a guy to replace him. If Mackenzie Alexander or Trae Waynes leaves, and they have a guy to replace him. So they're drafting for depth and thinking about the future because they didn't really have a whole lot of holes to fill going into this draft. So that's what I think people need to get over. Like, this wasn't like everyone's like, oh, look at this draft that they did that or they did that. Yeah, that was when they were picking in like the top 10 or the top 15. Yeah, so it's a lot easier to get. Well, and then you also have much more glaring needs, where it's like, we had to take a guy here, and it had to be this position, and it had to be this guy because it was the 10th pick overall. That's why those drafts look better, because they had higher picks because they weren't as good. So that happens. Yes. And I also am having a very tough time with people being like, how are you bent out of shape about them giving a first or second round even caliber
defensive back to Mike Zimmer. If he's the cornerback whisperer guy that is good. He's good. This is going to be good. We can never have enough cornerbacks.
Yeah, I believe the players, the defensive backs drafted in the first round by Rick Spielman, since he was promoted to GM in 2012, are Harrison Smith, Xavier Rhodes.
He's good. He's good.
Trae Waynes, and now Mike Hughes.
He's pretty good.
So I think that's been pretty good at drafting defensive backs in the first round.
And also, a thing that we have not mentioned is the punt returning, kick returning aspect of things, because that kind of changes it. And since Cordell Patterson hasn't been here, Marcus Sherrills, we love him, but I wouldn't say weapon. I wouldn't say weapon. I wouldn't say weapon. I like him. He's good. Consistent. Thank you. Safe. Yes. All those things. But perhaps this...
not a game breaker.
Yeah, and maybe this kid can be, because he's really fast.
Well, he had 3 return touchdowns last year.
2 kicks and a punt, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, yeah, so the thing with Sherrills is he's a corner, technically, but he's their returner. So... he doesn't really provide them any depth at being a corner. Mm-hmm. So with Mike Hughes, he could be the returner and a corner, kind of like an Adam Jones that was for the Bengals or something like that.
It bums me out to say it, but it's basically they just upgraded Marcus Sherrills. They just made him a better kick returner, a better punt returner, a better cornerback.
Big time.
Because that's like essentially what he will do. Do you think that Marcus Sherrills will make the team because of this?
I mean, every time I don't, he does.
Yeah, good
so
call. We've done this.
I'm really not about to bet against him at this point.
How could you?
Because maybe Mike Hughes in training camp, he fumbles a lot of punts in their drills and stuff, and the Vikings don't feel comfortable putting a rookie back there.
Maybe he's killing it at cornerback, and he's playing so well that they don't want him back there returning kicks.
I think
of injury or something.
Hughes being the kick returner and Sherrills being the punt returner probably has a good chance of happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I saw a couple comments from Hughes, and he did say that he prides himself on being a good returner, and that's something you don't really see a lot of guys are just like, oh, I just I do it, but he was like, that's something I work on and stuff like that. That's good. He's exciting. Maybe he'll be the next Devin Hester. You never know.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I'd be cool with it. I'm into it.
And then are people going to complain still? You can be like, well, he doesn't play that good defense.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that for a little bit. But judging a draft class and then
great stuff.
Yeah. Because I want to clarify, I think grading and assuming that you already know where a team is at and what the draft class was, I think that's ridiculous. However, using a bunch of people's different information and information from several sources and using all of these things to form an educated opinion to then give an analysis of a draft class, that's practical. That's good stuff. That's the stuff I want to read. So there's a difference between those two. It doesn't mean that everybody that gives a grade to a draft class is an idiot.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows that I don't think like that. I don't think everybody that gives a draft grade is stupid. Draft grade. That's the title of the episode now.
Don't drunken drive. Don't dink and drunk. I don't.
Don't drink and dink.
Yeah. There that is. I have a confession to make that because I got an instant grade tweet or whatever because I was bored.
Yep.
Graded every pick. Mm-hmm. And then I actually deleted it because I haven't really looked that deep into some of the later Vikings picks, so I didn't feel comfortable having that out there. So if people are wondering where that went, it's because I deleted it. Yep. Maybe I'll put one out later. Probably not, because somebody asked me how can you grade him? I'm like, honestly, I don't even like draft grades right after the draft. So, but because I believe the Seahawks, when they drafted Russell Wilson, I think it was ESPN or NFL.com gave them a C. Mm-hmm. So
how can you know?
How'd that work out?
Yeah, you can't. You can't know. You can't know. I saw a really good tweet that made a good analogy. It's the difference between saying you're grading a draft class now and not knowing is valid. That's all true. But the grades that we're getting from people right now, mostly from the guys that are doing it the good way, is the equivalent of like watching a guy play blackjack. If he hits on a 16 or whatever, like, that's bad. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wait to see,
Oh, let's wait.
Yeah, let's wait. Well, hang on now. We don't know. It's like, well, we're pretty sure. Like, that kind of assessment makes sense to me.
Like drafting a kicker.
A kicker. God, you stole my segue. That was totally it. So, fast forward into the 5th round we go. Well, I guess we should mention. So, we went Brian O'Neill, tackle in the 2nd. Jalen Holmes, defensive end, in the 4th round.
That's a good pick.
Yes, we'll talk about him a little bit in a second. But first, let's talk about the kicker, Daniel Carlson. So they trade up in the 5th round to get a kicker who missed over 25% of his kicks in 2017.
Yeah. He's missed a bunch of kicks in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Made all extra points, though.
It's important.
2-yard extra points made on.
Can you justify them taking a kicker in the 5th round? I'm not sure that I can.
No.
I'm not sure.
It didn't work out last time, so I don't really know. I think it will work out this time.
And it's the same situation because he's bad senior season. Oh, well, we like him because he's got a big leg and we think he can be good. He's been good.
So many kickers in the NFL, like some of the best ones, weren't drafted.
Yeah.
Most of the best ones weren't drafted.
Any other kickers drafted in this draft? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Were there? Okay. Because if that was if nobody else took
I know
a kicker,
some punters were.
Okay. Maybe not any.
I feel like
kickers.
maybe one or two more kickers. I'm not 100% positive, but I feel like I saw that.
Yeah. Well, and I've talked on this show many a time about how I feel about Kai Forbath, and I'm not a big fan, and I wanted them to go a different direction.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure the 5th round was the way to do it.
No.
Probably
got because they drafted a guard in the 6th round.
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
They could have gotten probably a better guard in the 5th round than a kicker.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's who are you afraid was going to take him? Where was the?
I think there were some rumblings that teams were going to take him, but still, like, you shouldn't be scared that a team is going to take a kicker because there's no really guarantee that he's better than Kai Forbath.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth. Like, it looks like Forbath's on his way out because they just spent a draft pick on a kicker, but there's no guarantee that this guy coming in is better.
Yeah. Do you think, is that like we're going to draft a kicker for the sole purpose of like snapping the kicker on our roster already into shape to make sure that he knows that we could get rid of him at any time? It's like a super expensive way to show somebody. Yeah, God, I don't know, man. I don't like Kai Forbath kicking for this football team, but I can't get with this. Poor Danny Carlson.
Sure, he's a good kid.
Well, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but good luck making kicks now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I looked at kickers to see like what ones were available in this draft, I was like, yeah, I kind of missed a lot of kicks in college.
Yeah.
I know they're like the same distances and stuff, but it's kind of weird though in college because sometimes you kick like sometimes it feels like you're really kicking from the sideline because that's how wide the hash marks are.
Hash marks are, yeah.
But at the same time, you can't, if you're going to be drafted in the NFL, you can't miss a lot. But you know what? Then there's those guys like who's the guy that was drafted to the Bucks, Aguayo.
Oh, yeah.
He's supposed to be like amazing when they drafted him in the 2nd round.
Way too high.
And then he just fell apart. So
he
maybe
didn't even make the team out of training camp.
No. And then maybe Carlson will turn into something good. But then, he's got to keep it consistent, though, because the Vikings have already had that. They had Blair Walsh. He came in and knocked it out of the park his first year. But then after that, it was like, boom.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you think
I don't
that
know.
he will miss a kick in the playoffs before he gets cut, or do you think they'll cut him before they get to that opportunity, or before he has
I
the
hope
opportunity?
I hope Kirk Cousins, DiFilippo just make an offense that scores enough points where they don't have to worry about that.
Agreed. Good. Okay. Whew, I'm glad we got that out. I just had to. That was of all the even the first round pick. I was kind of surprised by,
That's the only pick I was
but I was
disappointed.
yeah. But the kicker in the 5th round was the only time where I was like, what are we doing, guys? So thumbs down. That's my grade. There it is. Draft grade.
Yeah.
5th
Yeah.
round kicker. Thumbs down for me. We do. Is it okay if we do pass fail? Everybody else gives
Sure.
letter grades. Pass fail classes were better for me when I was in school, anyways. So I'm more comfortable with them. So fail. 5th round kicker. Who else? Then they go guard in the 6th round from.
Yeah, they got a tight end too.
Oh, that's right. Tyler Conklin, who is also a basketball player in a former life. He went to college to play basketball, transferred out to be a football player. Is that correct? Am I wrong with that?
Walked down to the football team, I think.
Okay.
So that worked out. He got drafted.
Yeah. Good choice, young man.
Athletic former basketball player, that they've never played in the NFL before.
Named
so maybe
Tyler.
Yeah.
I know a guy.
He could work out. He didn't play. I think he missed like the first 5 games last year with a broken bone in his foot. That's the thing too with this draft. The Vikings drafted a lot of guys that have injury histories.
A lot of question marks.
Their guard they drafted. What's his name?
Is it Gossett?
Gossett. Yeah.
Colby Gossett.
Yep,
Appalachian State.
Yeah, I believe he has a chip in his shoulder, or he had one.
Like a literal chip in his shoulder?
Yeah, not on it,
That
but
is awesome.
and then the guy they drafted in the 7th round tore his ACL this year, so he is not going to be ready for rookie minicamp. There's no guarantee he'll be rookie or he'll be ready for training camp, and he tore his ACL in high school too. So why are you spending a draft pick on him?
With all the options, that's the thing that
I know it's a
confuses me.
I know it's a 7th round pick, so it's probably not going to make the team anyways. But
still, though,
why do you? Yeah, why?
Isn't there someone better? Couldn't you have found somebody that isn't? I don't know. But it's so hard with this draft stuff. It's so hard to know. I mean, obviously we'll never know, but like what their motivations are. Maybe they see something in this kid that is making them think that if he can stay healthy, he could be a productive player. So you take a flyer on a 7th round. I don't know. All I see is injured dude you wasted a pick on when I look at that pick. I don't know. It's hard to.
So interesting draft. They picked late pretty much in every round, except for the 4th, because they made that trade with. Who did they make the trade with?
Was it
the
Jets?
The Bucks. The Bucks. Oh, the Jets. Jets.
Was it the Jets? Okay, that's what I thought. That was in my brain for some reason.
Yep. And then they made another trade with the Jets to get that 7th round pick back or something. That's when they traded up with for the kicker. Yeah. So yeah, it was. I feel like the draft itself was more exciting than the Vikings draft.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on in that first round. Ryan Shazier coming out.
Yeah, what did you think of that? Because it made me, I was like happy for him, and then about halfway across the stage, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I did hear Dan Lebitard, his opinion on it, saying how like that was not a good idea to bring a guy out on stage in an event where guys are coming into your league.
Yeah, congratulations on getting here. You could look forward to this.
Yeah, this is what could happen to you. You could not walk. But, it's good to see that he's able to move his legs, I guess. But do not come back and play in the NFL.
Oh, my God. And I had kept seeing, I just saw photos of him. And then was like, he's making a comeback. He's making a comeback. Like him doing or like doing pull-ups.
Standing up.
And then I saw him walk, and I was like, oh, you're a long ways away from playing in the NFL again, man.
Don't. Just, you already got money. Just don't come back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was brutal. I felt really bad for him.
He's going to try.
For sure. Football, Ugh.
Teddy came back. Speaking of him, he's probably not going to make the Jets roster.
Yeah. Who did they wind up taking? Was it
Darnold.
Darnold, okay. Where did Rosen wind up going? That was later on, wasn't
Cardinals.
it? Cardinals.
He's with Bradford.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Teddy. He's probably not going to be there.
Because they can... I don't remember how much they paid him. No, I can't remember right now. But yeah, he's probably going to be on the outs because they've got Josh McCown too. And I mean, I don't think you want to pay your third string quarterback a bunch of money. So just maybe he'll end up with the Giants or the Jaguars or back with the Vikings.
Yeah. I just hope he lands and gets
I was surprised.
a chance to
I was
compete
surprised
for a job.
the Jaguars didn't select Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
They had a chance. Them, the Saints, the Patriots. I was really surprised all the Jaguars passed on him.
But they've also been starting Blake Bortles forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Who's making these decisions? That
Like-
guy is... I don't know how you could... Because they right now are thinking, like, and they went... Now, maybe that's the problem is how well they did last
loaded
season.
up
It's
on
like, hey,
defense.
with him. Yeah, loaded up on defense again, and then it's like, man, if you had anybody...
They're just not going to pass. They're just going to run every down.
I mean, yeah. And I guess he is good at handing the ball off, so that's safe. Let's talk a little bit about the undrafted free agents. 17 of them were signed today, according to the Vikings. I don't have the full list, but I wanted to talk about some of the, I don't want to say more important, but some of the highlights, I guess, of the guys. Do you have any? Well, I guess first let's talk about who will obviously be the Adam Thielen comparison throughout the entire mini camp and training camp and all this stuff. The Jake Weineke from South Dakota State.
Is it Weineke?
Yeah.
Or Winky?
Weineke? I don't know. I heard it on the radio today. I thought it was Weineke. I don't know. But anyways, that kid for Maple Grove originally, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know much about him. So.
I don't know.
Kid. He was supposed to be he was supposed to be drafted according to some people, so it's a good pickup, I guess. I guess the Vikings called him before the draft was even over, and so he was hoping that he wouldn't be drafted, so he could go to the Vikings because I guess he's a fan. So
Yeah.
that's cool though.
Yeah.
Cool. He gets to play on his favorite team growing up. It's always cool to see guys like that.
Definitely.
Adam Thielen, another one of those guys.
Who else did you see off of this undrafted free agent? Who else did you want to mention?
Holden Hill.
Holden Hill.
He's a cornerback from Texas. I think we've talked about him as being a controversial guy because he was suspended last year for 4 games for reportedly, testing positive for a drug test again for the 3rd time at Texas.
Oh, that's that. Oh.
Yeah, I saw a rumor too the other day. It was like on some message board or something, so I wouldn't take any amount of truth to this, but a rumor that he failed the combine test too, the drug test.
Really?
So.
Well, wouldn't we have known that though if he failed the combine test? Or I guess maybe this is how we're knowing it is because he didn't.
I don't know.
Drafted?
The one guy that got out that failed the combine drug test, he got drafted.
Yeah.
And I think that only leaked because he switched agents, and the old agent probably threw that out there.
Really? Oh, okay. That was going to be my question. Why would one of those come out and the other wouldn't if it was... Okay, that makes more sense then. You think he has a chance to make the team? What do you think his role could be, Mr. Hill?
He's going to be on some thin ice for sure, just because of his screw-ups in college, but he was regarded as like top 3 round talent by most draft experts, I guess. So there's a chance that defensive backfield though is getting pretty crowded, especially with Mike Hughes in there, re-signing Terrence Newman, Mackenzie Alexander, Terrence Newman. Hill's a guy they could probably sign in their practice squad.
Yeah.
And hope that no one else signs him, but I don't know if he would make the active roster this year. It's going to be especially for rookie cornerback, which is a hard position to transition to. I don't know how great of a chance he has. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll impress people in camp. That's why, that's all these guys want. Is opportunity to, get on the field. And I think there's another guy.
The one I'm super excited about.
Hercules?
Hercules. Oh my God. Have you watched his highlight video? Hercules. Oh yes, Sounder coming soon.
He's a terror in there.
Yeah, crazy. He's undersized
He is undersized, but he's very strong.
Yeah.
His name's Hercules. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's strong. Yeah,
he came.
Oh man,
out
he's
of the
my
womb.
favorite.
Yeah,
totally. Yes.
But I saw the Vikings list him as a linebacker today, so
that would
be
make
interesting
sense.
to see if
he's like 6 feet 6'2" and 254 or something like that, but was playing defensive tackle.
I think he weighs less than that. I think he's around 240.
Oh my God. But he's unbelievable. His highlight videos.
240, all muscle.
Yeah. In his crazy motor. It's got John Randall.
Randall was super undersized when he came to the Vikings.
But had a crazy motor and never stopped, never took a play off. All these things are on Hercules' scouting report as well.
You've heard the story about how he put weights in his pants or something, or
what?
Yeah,
no.
John. Yeah, he put
John Randall?
Yeah, he put weights in his pants when he was getting measured by the Vikings, I think, so he would weigh more.
Because he was so undersized that he had to put weights in his pants. Yeah. Wow. And then, did his thing and is now Hall of Fame. That's unbelievable.
This could be a guy where, you sign him to the practice squad and let him bulk up a little bit. Not a little bit, a lot of it. And then, have him as a 3 technique feature. But they drafted a 3 technique in Jalen Holmes. So that looks like it could be a pretty good pick to have him develop and stuff behind Sheldon Richardson this year, and then if Richardson leaves next year, which many assume he will, then you got Holmes waiting in the wings.
Yep. Well, and that's if you take the draft and kind of take a step back and take your initial judgments away from it. What did we think they were going to do? They were going to draft an offensive lineman, most likely interior, but not necessarily. They were going to...
They did.
Yeah, and they did that. They were going to add depth at defensive back, and they did that. They were going to add depth at the interior defensive lineman. They did that. All of those 3 things happened in the first 3-4 rounds. I mean, it wasn't that crazy. This was pretty much what we expected them to do, and yet... it feels like people are just so mad about how this draft went down. I'm having a really tough time processing why people are so upset about it.
I think it just has to do with them not drafting an offensive lineman in the first round and seeing all those guys go off the board in the first 10 picks.
And I do understand that. And it's hard to... I think part of it, too, is that...
Sorry, I got a bug.
That's all right. I think that part of it is now that the internet is a thing and you can go out, I think everybody, even maybe not casual fans, but I think a lot of people go on these websites, mock draft 2018 Vikings, Google search, and so you're reading this Billy Price, you're seeing offensive lineman, and then they don't do that, and people are, oh man, this is, there's a bigger reaction there than I think there would be if you weren't already assuming, because of all the stuff that you had read, that they were going to go a certain direction. Well, when those people are kind of guessing too.
Mock drafts are really stupid.
And crazy and inaccurate.
Yeah, 25% of the predictions are usually right. At best.
Yeah, and that would be,
usually it's within the first 5 picks, those are the ones people get right. So predicting late in the round, if a Billy Price is going to follow the Vikings or somebody or Ragnow or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a prediction, but it's not likely. I mean, those guys went maybe 10 picks ahead, so they were close, seeing that the experts saying that, these guys had first round potential, which they did. They went in the first round.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean the end of the first round. It probably means mid to later first round.
Yes.
That's a pretty large large range
Yes.
to.
So much of it depends on what the other teams are going to do, what they decide they need, you know. And for some of those teams, especially in the top 10 picks, they got multiple options to work from. Do we want what's the best available? What need can we, you know, I guess alleviate with these picks? And they got 4 different spots that they have to get somebody in, you know, and that changes the whole dynamic of the draft.
There's guys out there that are like aware of pretty much every team's needs, but to know the details of every team's needs, that's very, and then keep track of prospects and stuff.
Exactly.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to predict what like team wants.
You're asking to
when
read
they're gonna go
people's
after.
minds. That's what you're asking to do. Like that's it. Can you read their mind? No. Well, then it's all educated. That's all we can do. It's hard to guess. I agree completely, and it just so much, and especially.
It's fun to do those.
It is, and there's so much. I think that there's so many different reasons. It's off season. There's nothing to do. Now you can do your own mock drafts. You know, like now you can. There's so much information at our fingertips that literally you can go in 3 days before and kind of have a pretty good idea of who's going, not who's going where, but who the best players in that draft are.
I think that's what makes the draft so intriguing too. That's why I was on national TV this year. It's because of you do these mock drafts and you see these players that your team might be able to get, and then you want to watch to see if it actually happens, or if that player goes to somebody else, you're like, oh man, well that's okay. They can get this guy instead, and then that guy gets drafted, and then keep going. So that's why people watch.
100%. I fell right into that. Mike McGlinchey. He's my guy.
11 million.
There was a chance he could fall.
Yeah,
there was never a chance. But that was totally the end of it. I was like, but I'm gonna watch it to see if.
Because you probably found somebody out there who's like, oh, this guy could fall to the end of the round.
100%. Found one mock draft. I was like, this could happen. I was like, oh, well, proof.
There you go.
I'll believe it.
But yeah, like the draft is huge. Like people watch somebody read the names of players. That's what people are watching. Mm-hmm. Like, and people were saying that NFL is dead. They have no idea what they're talking about.
For real. I got like excited. It was draft day, and I was like, oh, and then I had to be like, why am I? This could all be garbage. It could all be garbage. I mean, it could all be great, but it was
one of the most entertaining drafts, though. I think the first round, at least, I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Well, usually we know kind of where at least top 5 kind of are going. You know.
Yeah. The quarterbacks and the trades, and then all the booing.
You know what I did? I will say this. I did get tired of this is in some of the later,
Steelers won 6 Super Bowls.
How do you feel about Dallas and we're better? It's like, oh God, do we have to every time? I get it, dude.
Michael Vick, who said he never lost to Dallas, but he did.
Did he really?
Oh yeah,
that's hilarious. I thought that was just. I was like, oh, that's an interesting stat. No,
he totally lied.
Quick question.
I did like the Eagles. I hate the Eagles, but I did like with their kicker going out.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was the best part of the whole thing. That was Akers, wasn't it? David Akers.
Yeah, that was because like the Cowboys player last year did that in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Kind of getting him back.
That part was cool. A little bit of that, I'm okay. Oh, also, God, question of the week. Do we have to do the skull chant all the time? Every time. Does it have to be every time? I love it. I'm a big skull chant guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's starting to be too much.
Save it for stadium only? Game day only?
I feel like that's a safe rule. That's exactly right. Stadium only.
Is there any other team that has... I mean, the Steelers have the terrible towels, but they don't do that.
No.
Like, everywhere they go.
See, and that's my problem with it, is it's now starting to feel desperate and weird. Now it's like the weird thing that we're doing that nobody...
Getting to the point where, like, it's going to be mockable.
Yeah,
Like,
yes, that's exactly it. It's starting where I want to make fun of it now. So it's time
separating
it's
from
time to stop.
cool to, oh, your grandma's doing it. So
Yes.
let's
Yeah,
kind of like Facebook in the beginning
Nailed
when
it.
it was like, oh, this is cool. Like it's for college kids or even just high schoolers and college kids.
Yes.
Oh, my grandma has a Facebook. All right, I'm going to stop using this.
The skull chant when the skull chant during the draft was the equivalent of my aunt telling me she liked one of my pictures on Facebook. I like my aunt. I like,
Or like her
Facebook
commenting, love you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that's it. That's it. Where it's like, but I'm not going to like it. It's there and I'm not going to delete it. I'm not happy about it, but I don't like it. That's how I feel about the skull chant at the... I don't know. What do you think? Are we doing it too much, do you think? Or should I just maybe shut up and kind of go with it because it's new cool?
It can be toned down. I think saving it for game day is good. There should be some rules established. You can't let it get out of hand.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
I don't think Braves fans go around everywhere doing the, I don't even think they do that anymore.
No, they don't.
Actually.
I don't think it's okay. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Stop doing that. We're going to blur that out on the...
Nah.
I'm just joking.
It could have been something else.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that's... I don't want to say as annoying, but what is something that a different fan base does
Who dat?
constantly? Yeah, it's pretty annoying. That might be close. Go Pack
Who dat?
Go. I don't even know if that's... I mean...
They don't do that.
It is
They do
worse,
that
but they don't do
at
it
the
that
games.
often. Yeah.
When I was in Buffalo, they changed the lyrics to make you want to shout to the Bills make you want to shout, and they would play that like after every good play. So that got pretty annoying after a while, especially when they weren't making the playoffs.
Oh man, I don't. It's tough because I just don't know if there is anything more annoying.
Now you're gonna make me want to write an article that's like, is the skull chant the most annoying chant in football?
I love that we have a thing.
People are gonna be pissed.
People
if I
are,
wrote that.
yeah.
So I should probably write that.
You probably should. A lot of clicks there. You're welcome.
That's what I've done.
You're welcome for that idea, by the way.
That's the only reason why I write. So
For the clicks. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, totally.
Side note: somebody made an account on the Viking Age to comment. Just 2 comments. I looked at their profile. This is the only 2 comments. They're the same comment that they must have not felt they submitted well enough the first time.
Yeah.
The first sentence is, "You get paid to write." I was like, yes I do. So, thank you for making an account just to ask me that. Appreciate it.
I wonder if he meant it as a you shouldn't get paid. Not sure. But you can tell you can tell that he doesn't though. Or they don't. Is maybe a better way.
Well, I do get paid to write and he doesn't. So
That's true.
there you go.
That's true.
I don't toot my horn very often, but I will when it's needed.
Yeah. And you should, because you do, and you are, and he isn't. So, or unless it is some secret. Actually, that was me.
That was you. All right, yeah, trying to have a little war between Sporting Soda and the Viking Age.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
All right, fine, good. Well, I guess we'll talk next week when the war is on. How about that?
No, we won't.
Oh, that's right. No, we won't talk next week because you are on vacation-ish?
Yeah, I got a bye week next week.
Okay,
So.
bye week for you. We are taking a break next week. I will be back the
Definitely
following
not
week.
a vacation.
Yeah. I'll be back the following week. Probably myself, maybe a guest. Not sure, but most likely
Maybe.
just maybe.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There you go. See that cliffhanger. That's how you get them to come back. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
It's a secret of
That's
the
what
podcasting biz. That's a tease.
the old industry people call a tease.
That's, well, I didn't want to use like business terms, but yeah, it is called a tease. Just didn't want that to go over it. Okay, yeah. So good tease. Good job. Draft, man. Woo.
All right, we'll talk in a couple weeks.
Yeah. See you in a couple weeks. Go Vikes.
See if anyone else has been suspended.
Yeah. Because that would be, well, it'd probably be 2 because they're averaging like 1 a week.
2 in a week.
Go back. See you later.
Go bye.